Hey, good evening, everyone. Today is August 20th, 2025. It was a Wednesday. All the goals for the day were to brush my teeth, make a morning vlog, check on the grapes over at my grandpa's house. Didn't make the morning vlog or the check on the grapes, but we did wake up at 10:30 today. Did deposit our check, did organize the laundry, and did move the video logs from like my hard drive, from my computer to my hard drive. And yeah, worked at 4. And then, I feel like I did something else productive today, but I don't know particularly what it was. I did finish my book, so that was pretty cool. Finish book. There's actually a funny story about that. Kind of funny. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, so woke up at 10:30 today, played some video games, and then was like, okay, I need to lock in and organize my laundry. So, organize my laundry. Dude, from start to finish, took me 20 minutes. And I'm literally just sitting here like, I cannot believe that it was such like a mental obstacle for me to just organize my laundry. It's so easy. It like mentally though, I'm like so difficult. And I'm like, gosh, dude, I don't know why. I let it weigh on me so much when it takes 20 minutes to do. Ridiculous. But yeah. So then I hung out with Ava for a little bit and then went and checked on the garden outside. And then yeah, I was playing a game on my phone too, and then after that, our checks were in from work, so went and deposited those. That was pretty cool. I got money in my bank account. Let's go. And then when we got home, I played some Dust to the End and Roblox before heading off to work. That was pretty fun. Work was pretty boring all around. I had a couple like really good tippers for some reason. I think I had two $10 tips and like a $12 tip out of just nowhere. I was like, who are you people? Where are y'all coming from? So that was pretty cool. And then yeah, so on the way to work, I had this book with me, a picture of Dorian. My bad. I had this book with me. Picture of Dorian Gray. Pretty interesting book for sure. There's like right halfway through the book, there's just, I mean, oh my god, dude. Let me see if I can find the page that like really pissed me off, bro. I'll show this on camera. This is the start of the paragraph. Wait, yeah, that's a hyphen. So this is a hyphen. This is the start of the paragraph. That's the next paragraph. So this one paragraph is this. And I mean, dude, it's literally him complaining or basically explaining why this random chick means nothing to him and like how he like reconciled the situation and moved on or whatever. You did not need to use so many words, bro. You are yakking. You are saying nothing. But anyways, overall good book. I'm gonna share a daily thought on it, so I won't yak too much right now. But yeah, so I had it with me because I wanted to read it at work. I knew it was gonna be boring. Packed it and I like had the thought. So my next book is right here. It's The Martian. You can see it. The Martian. I'm really excited to read it. And I was like, oh, before going to work, I could grab it. And I was like, nah, because I like had this much left of Picture of Dorian Gray. I was like, I'll be fine. I can sit on the phone for the rest of the thing. Got to work. Got to reading. I had 2 pages left, and the rest is the appendix. Bro, I fumbled. I was so bored all shift. And I was just like, bro, like the comedic timing of I had literally 2 pages left. Finish the book. Won't give a spoiler on the video, I don't think. Like I'll make if I want to, I'll make like a full video on it just because it is like a classic piece of literature. But yeah, and then like around 7, my boy Dylan texted me and said he was coming in, so we had a good conversation. That was pretty cool. And then yeah, closed up. I think I closed like right on time. I was done at like 10:03. I think I was out of there. And then Korey wanted McDonald's after work, so I went and picked some up for him, myself, and Ava. And then when I got home, finished up my podcast, played some video games, and then brushed up on Spanish. I was looking up Spanish stuff today. The line that I had been saying, I realized I've been saying it wrong because I thought players was like players in Spanish too. Let me pull Google Translate. Google Translate. Tienes. Perfect. Player. What is this in Spanish? Yeah, so it's like, it's the same thing. Like, there's no word, like, players doesn't mean anything in Spanish. So what I had been saying was, tienes juegos de dos players. Just, tienes juegos de dos players. Just, do you have 2-player games? Jugadores is how you, like, actually say players. But if you say players, like, people know what a player is. But the word is jugadores. So I could say, tienes juegos de dos players. And, like, people will get players. But the real sentence is, tienes juegos de dos jugadores. And then it's like, how do you say on your phone? And it's, para tu teléfono. So it's, oh wait, do those players, para? How do you say, switch on, not para, por. En, okay, it's en. Tienes juegos para dos jugadores en tu teléfono? Is literally just do 2-player games on your phone? And it's like an inside joke right now because Roman, every time I see him, he's just like, hey, 2-player games? Because I have like the 2-player games at Tienes juegos para dos jugadores en tu teléfono? Just do you have 2-player games on your phone? So funny to me, dude. And it's like, I could say it just players. Tienes juegos para dos players en tu teléfono? En tu teléfono? And so it's like, this is like made me want to like look into Spanish more. And so I did like a little bit of like ChatGPT Spanish work. I've heard the AI is awesome for like learning languages. And so you can have like it is what, like 600 or so words that people use all the time in language. And so like if you could memorize those words, you're able to speak the language relatively fluently on a daily basis. Obviously you're not going to know what camel is, like we don't use that word daily, but you're going to know how to ask for directions, how to go to the store, how to buy corn, like stuff like that, you know? Which I think is super, super cool. And, yeah, so brushed up on, like, some of my verbiage, and, like, I took, like, a beginner Spanish test, and it's, like, taking, like, 3 separate beginner tests, and then, man, I'm getting the urge to sneeze. Doing, like 3 separate, like, Spanish tests, and then, like, I'm already, like, in the mode of Spanish, so I'm able to, like, kind of piece together what stuff is, and get, like, lots of half points just on, like, prior knowledge, and then learn as I fail, right? Like, so it's really good. But, yeah, I actually wanted my daily thought to be about the picture of Dorian Gray, so I almost got sidetracked talking about it. This book is really interesting. I don't want to share too many spoilers, but basically the premise is, this man, I'm assuming it's this man, he is beautiful, right? He is, at the very start of the book, being painted by this character. After the painting's done, it's like a perfect rendition. It is a beautiful painting of this man, right? And he ends up meeting this member of nobility. His name's Lord Henry Walton, who goes by Harry. And Henry essentially opens up his consciousness to the world and like exposes him to the world. And in doing so, kind of corrupts him in some way and makes him realize like his beauty isn't going to last forever. And so Dorian Gray basically looks at the painting and goes, I wish that I could remain like this forever, but I wish that painting would change and get older and more disgusting and stuff. And so it shows as he changes as a person, the painting changes and he gets up to shenanigans, gets into trouble, whatever, there's plot. But a lot of this book, and I like to think that I read at a high school ish level on a good day, right? Maybe above if I'm hitting above my weight or like on my focus medication, maybe below if I'm tired or tired or there's another word I'm thinking of, not incapacitated, inebriated in some way, whatever it is. But it's like this book was very, very interesting. I did not like the characters. Like most of the characters I did not appreciate. Like maybe it's the times, maybe it's just how he wanted the book to be written. Maybe it's just how it fits in the plot. I did not like Dorian Gray. There are multiple times where he says, I'm gonna do this, and doesn't. He folds under no pressure, dude. And it's not even like applying pressure. It's like if I looked at this thing and it said, I'm going to remain up. And I went like that, and it just folded instantly. And was just like, okay, it's done. Like, I don't even have to push it down. It would just, like, instantly fold. And as I grab this. Like, it's kind of that, like, passive pressure from other characters. And he folds like that, dude. Pisses me off. What kind of person? And I understand that in the context of the story, he was like, he was a child. Like, he had no exposure to the outside world. Once his consciousness was awakened, he has no concept of life. He has to go and experience it. Whatever. He has no grounded morals. He knows what is good and knows what is bad, and actively does not care to choose one. He just goes after what's interesting. And it makes sense-ish in the book. But it's so lame. And it's so lame. All of his reconciliation for his behavior, all of his justifications, are absolute logical paradoxes wrapped up in paradigm, vomited out in more words than necessary to make it sound good. With all that being said, it is interesting. It is very, very interesting. I can't believe they're not having kids read this. Like, it is a book. The ending, pretty good. I thought it was really blunt. I mean, it was a very blunt ending to me. And it has the same, it has good moments of foreshadowing and, like, remember this detail. Like, this will be a Mouska tool for we're going to use later. Like, it really does that really, really well a couple times. And even for me, it's like there's a couple times where they would say something and it would kind of, like, bang in my head. And I'd be like, and it, like, not even consciously noticing it, but my brain would take just a microsecond more on that word before moving on, and then it would come into play later. There's a point with a sailor where they do that, and I was just like, oh man, like I saw that a couple pages back. I could flip back and see the part, and I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy. And one of the things that was like, when he noticed that the portrait was changing, he had like done something and the portrait started changing, he did not experiment and like see if he was tripping. He did not peer review. He did not get another person to check it out. Is something weird here? Did someone come in and do this? What's happening? He didn't do any of that. He just went, oh my god, the picture's changing. Of course it is, and this is why. Of course, and I know consciously that it was Oscar Wilde explaining exposition, the whole plot of how the picture's going to change through the lens of the character, masterfully written in that aspect, but for the character who is a pretty relatively insecure and vain, and like there's just a couple other aspects where I'm like, he should not have taken it that way so quickly with no other prior explanations. You know, like my mind is so humans are humans who are humans. So in an exposition kind of way, it was good. In an actual way the character would react, I don't think it's too accurate to the way a human would respond in that kind of situation. And there's a lot of stuff like that where I'm like, I don't know that a human would do this. Like, I don't know that this is what a person would choose to do in that situation. The Lord character is the pinnacle of nonchalant. He does not give a about anything, dude. And he's always just like, no. Oh, your emotions are. You need to get these under control. You're so much right now, Dorian. You need to chill out. And Dorian just like, nah, man. I'm kind of upset about this. Have you ever thought about reconciling your emotions with logical fallacy, moving on the day after, and yada yada? And it's just like, oh my gosh. Dorian, lock in. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Just lock in, dude. And yeah. So honestly, overall, I enjoyed the book. I think I was telling Anna, I was like, I gave it a 7.8 out of 10, and I was like, I would say. I read part of the introduction. It was like Oscar Wilde kind of like wrote it on like scratch pieces of paper as he was going, and like obviously this is before widespread like writing utensils, writing paper, blah 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 blah. It was super super widespread. I'm pretty sure it was written industrialization, but it really does give that vibe, and I can understand that. I don't know that I might be a little biased against it. I can really tell that it was some dude going, oh yeah, this is some heat, just scribbling on like pieces of sheet paper, and just like loosely organizing it, and like, I mean, you guys saw that paragraph, just absolute page long paragraphs. I really want to see if I can find one more example, because like the page long paragraph. This is the exact one I opened up to previously. There was a couple. There was. Oh my god, what is this? Oh my god, dude. 2 pages, 2 paragraphs. No, there's one chapter where it's literally just. No, not this. It must be after. Must be after. Sorry, I'm looking for it. Dude, come on. I guess that's 7. Yeah. Whatever. Oh, yeah, there's... Bro. Paragraph. All the way down the page. And this is all, like, relatively important stuff. But it's just so... Oh, my God, bro. This is the start of the paragraph. Right here. All the way down to the end of the page. 1 over. That's the next paragraph. So a page and a half for 1 paragraph. And it's like relatively important stuff like world building, lore building, character building, leading up to the neck. Like that's like the intermission, essentially, just like information for a time skip. Well written, completely boring. Like if I had put down the book in that point, I would not have picked it back up. Like it was so boring. And like 3 of the things they mentioned in that intermission end up being like crucially important. Like you'd get it through context clues, but you're sitting there just going, who is this? Who is he? What? Why does he matter? Like you're not like it's like that. So yeah, overall 7.8 out of 10. I cannot wait to read The Martian. I'm super hyped about it. This was an experience. I heard there's a movie. I really do want to watch it. I think it'd be pretty interesting. So that's all I have to say on that. I hope you all had a wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.